We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain. I'll lock up behind you.
Anti-Creo's energizing poison. Enjoy 6 cups worth of concentrated caffeine in every dose. Spacer's choice. It's not the best choice. It's the Spacer's choice.
I love Byzantium.
You with the hips. Over here. Don't speak. Hold that posture for a moment while I admire you. You have a natural contrapposto, my dear. The way you rest your weight against your hip suggests a certain rugged charisma possessed only by the mighty primal and the well-traveled spacer. Splendid. I love it. You're not afraid of speaking your mind. You smolder and growl. Oh, you're just too perfect. I'm Celeste Jolicoeur, and you, my dear, are exactly what Byzantium needs. Darling, you and that brutish swagger of yours have been on my mind the moment you stepped into my studio. I'm working on a new line of clothing that will shock this city to its core, and I'd like your help. What do you say, my dear? Care to make history with me? Marvelous! You and I are going to wake this city up like a cold splash of wine to the face. What I need is a survey of the outside world. What does the common laborer wear? How do the wild-eyed madmen of Monarch dress themselves? I've heard rumors, but I require samples. Also, I expect you to model for me. Oh, you cad. You'll be the talk of Byzantium once I'm done with you. I'll need you to model for me the following: the apparel of an iconoclast, the armor of a marauder, and a full ensemble of spacer gear, helmet included. And when I say spacer gear, I mean an outfit worn by real spacers, none of that garbage spacer's choice pedals. You have the bearing and demeanor of a born model. You're going to absolutely murder this job. Fabulous! I can't wait to see what you dredge up.
You don't gotta be so forward about my reasons, Captain.
Let me get a good look at you. Turn around, please, darling. My word, such muscular shoulders. You're a vision, dear.
I am no such thing, ma'am.
Nonsense, you're absolutely lovely. Chin up now. I have just the thing for you. Let me do a back of the envelope calculation. Materials, labor, licensing and copyright. There. Love? That's the ultimate luxury, darling. Love. Oh, gracious me.
I don't get why that's funny, ma'am.
Oh, my cherub. Who woos for love anymore? That's so precious. All right, Captain. Here is the absolute best I can do for you. Darling, do I look like an amateur? I read her measurements by eye, and don't you ask, because they're no one's business but her own. There are some things I simply cannot skimp on, darling. Such a lovely young lady deserves the best. Now stand back. Back! I'll enter the settings and get these machines spinning. You'll be broke to bespoke in merely an hour. And there we are, my darling girl. I wish you a splendiferous evening. And if you don't mind my asking, have you any interest in modeling?
What? Oh, no, ma'am. All them eyes staring at me? I couldn't. No way, no how. I get scared just thinking on it.
I wish you weren't so shy, my Violet. You truly are beautiful. I hope your date sees that as clearly as I. I can't. What can.
Oh, can you believe this outfit? It's so handsome, I'm almost afraid to touch it. Well, I guess that's everything then. After all this time. I just have to actually do it now. You know, there's a part Junlei's been looking for to fix up the air cyclers. They only carried them on big colony ships, like the Hope. I know. For a while, it felt like everything I did was a little bit of help. And it meant I didn't have to ask her to be mine. Not yet. Not for real. Next time we dock with Groundbreaker, I'm doing it. I'll send June a message and ask her over. Oh, this is real scary, Captain. I'm grateful for all you done.
Move along.
If I spit, think I can.
I guess we're going to Fallbrook.
I swear, Next time we put in the groundbreaker, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna ask her over. Oh, I'm so nervous. Having trouble focusing on my work.
We are now in orbit above Edgewater, Captain. I think I'll initiate an unscheduled rest cycle. While you're
I'd wager this is the outpost. Rebecca! Anders! Come on out! It's a bus! Let's be quick! Hey, take a gander. The door's...
Huh. Rebecca taught me this once. You can jerry-rig these old locks so as they don't open anymore. But we've only ever done that if we're in a real bind. Here, I'll fix it.
Oh, no.
sorry, Nyoka.
I don't... They were... That bitch! They were all sent to abandon us! What would Clara say, huh? Every day she'd ask if we heard from you. And she'd have forgiven you. The kid had a soul that made the sulfur smell like roses. I'd to leave your medallions to rot with you, but Clara would want to be buried with her sister.
At least I know. Ought to have learned by now that getting one's hopes up tends to open them to being dashed across the stars. I hate to say this, but Clara died thinking her sister was still fighting to get back home. I'm glad. If she were still alive now, it'd break her to know the truth. Only thing left is to take these medallions home, which means figuring out how to bait the Mana Queen out of our old base. The most pissed off I've ever seen a queen was when a foreign species was on her soil. I'd wager the stench of a primal might do the trick. That'd be boring. Half the fun in exploring is the fact that you're on an unknown trail. I've never had the pleasure of hunting primals, but I hear they're all over Scylla. Let's tear a few apart, shall we? I'm sure they've got pheromones. Everything does.
Destination reached. Scylla.
Hey, boss.
Hey, boss. Got a hypothetical for you? You got a friend, see? Somebody you knew when you were growing up. You were close. Then one day, They up and vanished. 5 years go by, they send you a message out of the aether. What's going through your head? You got the wrong idea, boss. It ain't like that. Guy by the name of Clyde Harlow. He was an old friend of mine. Honestly, he was probably my first and longest friend. I just heard from him. Says he wants to talk to me. Says it's urgent. Figured I should let you know, seeing as we're on Scylla and all. Clyde's got a base on the other side of this rock. I appreciate this, boss. I know you're going out of your way for me.
Coming, Captain.
That queen ain't gonna go down easy. I can't wait. What's up? What's up? Outstanding. These ought to be enough. Let's get back to Monarch. There's an old base I used to call home. I can get us in the door, but we'll have to shoot our way through the Queen's brood to get to the center. We'll set the bait there. Password to the door is Charon.
Hey, you. Looking for something? Where do you think you're going? Yeah. The captain said we might be getting a new recruit. That you, then?
Sounds like Clyde's jumping to conclusions, but yeah, I'm Felix.
You're on a first-name basis with Captain Harlow, huh? All right, go on through. Got my sights on you.
Well, hey there, Hullhead. Clawed your way out of the groundbreaker at long last?
Uh-huh. Oh, sorry, were you expecting me to say something? Maybe a long time no see or a you've aged, old man?
So, you took Felix under your wing. Kept him busy. Good. Kid always needed a place to belong.
He kicks things what need kicking, and we look the other way when he starts talking anti-corporate. It's a good arrangement.
Hear that, Clyde? I've been making something out of myself.
So long as you haven't been making a fool of yourself. I'm sure Felix has no end of stories to tell of your exploits together. I look forward to catching up with the boy. I'm working on something. Something big. Something the likes of which Halcyon has never seen. And I want Felix to be a part of my initiative. I'm fulfilling a promise I made to the boy, that one day he and I would change the colony together. That day has finally arrived.
Easy there, Clyde. No one said nothing about throwing in with you. In case you didn't notice, I'm pretty happy where I am.
I'm not asking you to walk away from your captain, Felix, but neither should you allow yourself to be controlled by fear. Change is not to be feared. I brought you here because I want to know where Felix's loyalties lie. When the day of our revolution comes, I want to know that I can rely on him. Everyone in my crew proves their loyalty. No exceptions. Not even Felix. I want you to deal with a traitor for me. Name's Trask. Kill him, and bring me proof of his death. His ring should do nicely. Routed us out to the board. He's been an informant. Has been for years. When he realized I was onto him, he and his little cadre mutinied. Killed 5 of my own and tucked tail. I don't know where he's hiding, but his wife might. Rosanna. Lives on the Groundbreaker last I checked. Rosanna knows my crew by name and face, but you're a stranger to her. She'll talk to you.
You think so? Maybe we should have a word with Trask. Get his side of the story first.
You'd be wasting your breath bandying words with that traitor. But if it makes you feel better, by all means. Remember, I want proof. Bring me his ring. I don't care if the hand's still attached. Here, my token. Think of this as my personal signature. Anyone who knows me by my works will know me by this token.
We're now in orbit above Fallbrook, Captain.
Said you docked 3 days ago?
This looks like the place.
Welcome to the offices of the Greater Halcyon Insurance Group, Halcyon's premier provider of life and disaster-related insurance. I'm obligated to inform you that our coverage does not extend to incidents deemed to result from negligence, criminal activity, or dullness of mind. So, what kind of insurance package can I interest you in? We're running a special on dismemberment policies. Buy one, get one half off. I remember that one. That's the young socialite who broke her neck, right?
Of course, no one remembers me for the marauders I've killed or the bits I've stolen. Typical.
That claim was airtight. Our best investigators couldn't find an exclusion for that one. You can't, of course. Only Miss Fenhill can assign her beneficiaries. And she's dead. If we let every friend, relative, and acquaintance change a policy like that, people would do it all the time. Imagine the paperwork. Oh, you mean hypothetically? Well, hypothetically, you'd access the terminal in the back room that contains data on all our policies. And you'd theoretically add the beneficiary of your choice. But you wouldn't actually do that, of course. That would be fraud. Please, my policy only covers paper cuts and wrist strain. Very well. I'll do it. But then you've got to go. Confrontations like this will raise my premiums. I'll need the name of the new beneficiary.
Ellie Fenhill?
If you say so. The payouts will flow exclusively into the new account at the start of the month. I hope Ms. Fenhill enjoys her newfound prosperity.
You really did it. Give these payouts a few years and I'll be rolling in it. Hey, you did the real work. All I had to do was not be dead. I'm just glad my folks aren't gonna live off that awful story they made up. Maybe now they'll have to go back to real jobs. Sure. You did my job, so here's your fee. Don't make it weird. Even you've got to be in it for the money now and then. Why else would you go through all this trouble? You sure? Because my kind of friends will pick your pocket clean while they're getting hammered with you. You don't have to get all mushy about it. Still, maybe you've got a point. Maybe it's good to watch someone's back now and then so that one day they watch yours. So, you just keep the money. One of us has to look out for your interests. Don't mention it. Really, this feels weird enough as it is.
Hey, Cass. Knock, knock.
Well, this is the spot. You know, I thought I'd be angry. I thought I'd storm in here in a rage and exterminate all these bugs and everything would be all right in the end. But I ain't. I'm mostly just empty. A little sad, maybe. The first night Hayes and I spent in here, we knew it was home. It's safe. It's got a nice chill to it. But mostly, it doesn't stink of sulfur. Monarch folks often joke about it. Not because of the smell or the grittiness it leaves in your throat. Not because of the headaches or the coughing. It's because there's no escaping it. It's life here, and there ain't anything you can do about it. But here, somehow the sulfur never made it. The nights we spent in here felt like vacations. So we started building. We hauled in steel, hired sublight folk to help. That's how we met Anders and Opal. They stuck around after our contract was up. Opal liked camping. Anders liked chasing her tail. 4 of us for a while, scraping together what bits we could to build our home. Then came Rebecca, a sawbones out of the Cascadia survivors, who took a kindness to Hayes. And Clara, her little sister. I'll admit I wasn't keen on taking her on at first, but for a teenager, she was surprisingly capable. More like attached at the hip to her older sister. Got a kind of strength between them, I suppose. She had a head for numbers, helped us trade hides for food and materials, negotiated contracts. Turned out to be mighty useful. Clara, Hayes, Anders, Rebecca, Opal, and me. 6 folks, 1 name, 1 family. Charon. Despite Monarch trying to kill us day in and day out, we managed to belong. Me too, Captain. But I'm starting to think that maybe I've found another. Now let's get to shooting before I get all sentimental.
Here they come.
I wish these were more auspicious circumstances, but at least we're all here. This bringing them together, burying them. This is the kind of thing Hayes would have done. That makes it stupid. By all accounts, we should have left well enough alone, but that also makes it right. Captain, thank you. You mind if we rest a spell before we head out? I'd like to bury Opal and Clara proper before I lay everyone's medallions to rest. What? Why? Them's painful memories, Captain. Huh. That ain't a bad point. All right, Captain. Thanks.
The Groundbreaker has approved our request for docking, Captain. You're free to disembark.
All right. She's on her way. How do I look? Oh, my hands have finally stopped shaking. All right, all right. Deep breath. Here I go. Anyhow, so I told him, Dad, I'm a big girl now. I ain't need your help. I can do it on my lonesome.
What did he say to that?
Have at it then. And he handed me his favorite wrench, the one he used for the canner. Just probably half as tall as I was.
He didn't scold you for talking back to him?
Nah, he was never like that. I always thought it was funny when I get indignant about something. Then he'd watch me do whatever it was, make sure I didn't get hurt, but he'd never interfere. I learned a lot that way.
I wish I could have met him. Anyone who helped shape you must have been a special person.
Look at me, all dressed up for once. I'm having the best time.
My father and I were often at loggerheads.
Okay, Captain, she's gone. I'm near about vibrating. I'm so excited. So she got here, and, well, she sneezed. She said, wow, new soap? And I was like, yeah, rose-ish. Turns out it tickled her nose. Oops. And then she just sort of touched my arm real gentle-like and called the cut of my outfit elegant. I couldn't hear the rest on account of my heart was beating so hard. Then I led her into the kitchen. I think she about cried when she saw the spread. She stood stock still and just said, oh, real soft. Oh, and let me tell you, I was sweating. And then she blinked and said, is that dustback casserole? I told her how we got Mr. Raymond to bake it for us, so it was double authentic. Made by a real live monarch person. Well, we talked a bunch over dinner about the things we learned just through messages, stuff we repaired, how I taught her to salvage and she taught me to build. When I brung out the sweetheart cakes, June, she got a little teary, said she had a thing she needed to say. But I stopped her because I wanted to say it first. I never felt so bold, Captain. I told her about how she made me feel. Bold like I acted, strong, smarter and kinder than I am on my lonesome. I listed all the things I liked about her. And then she pulled out a paper and read a speech. She talked about the things she admired about me, like my cleverness and my humor, and how it made her want to be more open. Anyhow, when she wrapped up, I asked her to be my girlfriend. And Captain, she said yes! And then she sneezed again, on account of the flowery soap. We talked about it some. I told her I wasn't sure how it would work, how I've had a bad time of it in the past. She said we'll take it as it comes. Fix things together. Share meals, talk. Maybe she could rub my shoulders when they're sore. I said I might like that. It's all on your account, you know. Imagine if you'd never taken me out of Edgewater. I'd have never met Junlei at all. I don't know nothing about the Vicar's capital P plan, but you've sure changed my life. So, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna head to my cabin and happy scream into my pillow for like an hour.
Так, надеюсь, меня слышно. Да, Дюдя, добро пожаловать с Раматуз Парвати, и у нее было свидание с девушкой. Ну, в первую очередь, мы в будущем, где-то в другой колонии, и как бы... И плюс к этому у нее еще как бы отношения с девушкой типа сугубо философские и чисто на ощущениях. Но, я так понимаю, мы проницательность раскрыли, это типа у нее был плохой опыт, кто-то ей сильно отказал или что-то там плохое случилось, и из-за этого ей нужно излечиться. Ладно, хватит этого дерьма, при всем уважении, ну серьезно. Пора проходить основную кампанию. Так. А где здесь вот эта штука? Нет, не сюда, да? Или сюда, я не помню. О, Сэм, ты как всегда в своем стиле. Блин, а где же здесь эта штука? О, куда мне идти? Вот в чем вопрос. Фу-фу-фу-фу-фу. Ну, походу сюда же, да? Ну, как я понимаю, да. Да, вот, нашел. Нет, это не то. Твою ж налево. Вот эта штука. Пистолет Болтер 2.0 Джок. Ага. Интересно, интересная штука. Так, так, подождите. Вот этот супер пистолет, который у меня есть, он 10 уровня? Который там бьет по 500. Ага, это все не надо чинить, я так понимаю. Или у меня нечем чинить теперь. Что происходит? Ага. Починить этот предмет, хорошо. Так, работать, 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 работать. Так, что-то мои биты быстро уходят. Ага, все, мои деньги закончились. У вас не хватает битов. Ну, что ж поделать. Понятно, короче, ладно. Это пока все, что я могу сделать. И погнали по основной миссии. Уе! Так, не по той основной миссии. В первую очередь я хотел завершить далекие расстояния. Давайте вот сюда. Давайте прям к адъютантке подлетим. Я за. Yes. Так, ну что ж, будем аккуратны и прекрасны. Порвать и Викарий Макс. Так, ну у меня убеждение 95, как бы все должно быть хорошо. Так, Парвати и Виканти Макс, да. Топовые мои ребятки, как по мне. Добрый вечерочек. Спасибо, спасибо. Погнали, давайте, ребятки. Что-то я уже подумал, что завтра уже буду стримить. Надо сегодня добивать игру. Добивать веселье. Прекрасное настроение. Плюс еще могучий великий Дюдя зашел.
I admit part of me expected you to stand by your old friend. For better or worse, Wells was responsible for putting you back on your feet. That said, he's also a wanted criminal. For information regarding his whereabouts, you are entitled to collect a reward from Percival.
Это же коллегия? Да, это коллегия. Одна из лидерш коллегии или что-то в этом роде. Зачем вы хотели меня видеть? Отлично, я давно хочу его сдать.
I understand you've infiltrated the ministry. The things you discovered there must have been shocking, even disturbing. Halcyon is on the verge of a total systems collapse. The truth is ugly and difficult to accept, but we must accept the truth before we can move forward. Malnutrition is already a problem. Disease will come next, followed by starvation, followed by a breakdown of society, followed by extinction. I know this must come as a surprise to you. I imagine you have questions.
Is that why we were suffering plague in Edgewater? Malnutrition? All those folks sick and dying, and you knew why the whole time?
Yes, Miss Holcomb, we knew why. We've known for some time that Edgewater was dying. The colony itself is dying. The suffering you experienced in Edgewater, the disease, the starvation, will soon spread across Halcyon unless we act.
The powerful make the mistakes, and the powerless are left paying the price, as it has always been. Tell me, Adjutant, have you anything to offer beyond the usual false platitudes?
I'm offering decisive action, Vicar DeSoto. I can no longer depend on lazy, weak-willed bureaucrats to help me rescue Halcyon. I need someone with a backbone, someone like your captain. I won't pretend the truth isn't damning. Yes, the colony is on the verge of collapse, but there is a way to save it. I'll answer however I can. The lifetime employment program is not some malevolent strategy of an evil mastermind. There's no dark secret buried in the fine print. The program is logical, it's reasonable, it's merciful, and most importantly, it will work.
Могу сказать только одно. Концовка комплексная, там будет упоминаться почти все события и квесты. В принципе, как и в Нью-Вегасе. Ага. Доклад Року хочет пожить канал, чтобы спасти Византию. Это не единственный способ спасти Алкиона. У Уэллса есть план. Да, и пусть Алкион выгонит от голода, и буду наслаждаться жизнью Византии. Ага.
Byzantium is the beating heart of our colony. And as long as Byzantium survives, Halcyon may one day recover from the collapse. We must protect this city at any cost. Help me execute the lifetime employment program, and you will have earned a place of honor in Byzantium. You will live in comfort and want for nothing.
И сколько нам осталось?
We've already crossed the point of no return. The collapse has already begun. You must have noticed the signs in Emerald Vale. Malnutrition, disease, high mortality rates. This is a permanent famine, Captain. We've done all we can to curb their hunger. Very soon, people are going to realize they're starving. A famine is a problem of logistics as well as marketing. Your workers must remain productive on as little food as possible, and they must always believe that food is plentiful.
Ну, типа, вполне возможно, то есть ты не поможешь какому-нибудь бомжу в каком-то квесте, то в концовке про него могут упомянуть. Прикольно. Так вот зачем было исследование в Роузвей.
Before you interfered in Roseway, Dr. Anton Crane was on the verge of developing a powerful appetite suppressant. It would have made his career. The solution is a temporary one. Before long, our workers are going to feel the effects of starvation. The Lifetime Employment Program is our only viable option.
Типа ему не принесли 3 морковки, он умер жестокой смерти от голода. Интересно, интересно.
We need to talk about Emerald Vale. Thanks to your meddling, Edgewater is without power. Operations have ground to a halt. You've left us with a useless town draining our resources. Edgewater needs to go. I want you to wipe the town out. No survivors.
I cannot condone this plan. Wanton, senseless destruction of life is never the solution.
I don't need you to approve of my plan, Vicar. I need you to get it done.
You're a monster.
Someone has to be. Now is not the time for half measures, Captain. I need a decision from you.
И шо, типа, я должен отказаться, либо... You're mad. Давайте попробуем, типа, я совру ей. Да? Давай.
I won't. You're better than this, Captain. You have to be. Don't make me choose between you and Edgewater, Captain. Between you and my people. Please.
I'm glad you can keep control over your associates. Edgewater is beyond saving. We're going to have to erase the town, but we're going to do it systematically. You were in the Emerald Vale geothermal plant. Do you remember what you discovered there? There was an accident at the Emerald Vale geothermal plant many years ago. Automechanicals turned hostile and slaughtered the plant's workers. Tragic, really. In fact, Spacer's Choice manufactured the incident for an insurance claim. They outfitted their mechanicals with a termination protocol, which is exactly what we need.
Так, действительно, компания Postcom построила инцидент ради страховой выплаты. Автоматоны были снабжены алгоритмом ликвидации. Именно на это нам и нужно. Искать просто космос — это сложится с рук.
The insurance claim has been locked in committee for years, but the individual responsible for the accident was promoted for lateral thinking. I'm arranging for a delivery of mechanicals to Edgewater. These mechanicals have been equipped with the same termination protocol, which must be activated from a terminal in the plant. Once the mechanicals are finished cleaning out Edgewater, I'll need you to go in and clean out the mechanicals. Understand? I appreciate the flattery, Captain. One last thing. Spacer's Choice sent a team of soldiers to investigate your little misadventure in the geothermal plant. Tread lightly. Report back to me when the...
Ого, меня прибили, как хорошо. Так, продолжим. Давайте посмотрим, что будет дальше. Да, выбрал я, конечно же, жесткий поворот событий, я бы так сказал. 39, там 53, конечно же, там больше. Так, я так понимаю, этот квест немножко теперь не работает, я так понимаю. Так, у вас есть способности, да? Получение его брони должен усилиться. Эффект усилится до 3 раз. Так, если напарник попал в бою, он немедленно восстанавливает часть здоровья и продолжает сражаться. Эффекта долгая перезарядка. Врага ставил вас низким запас здоровья. Макс отвлекает внимание на всех окружающих противников на себя. Эффект срабатывает только если Макс в сознании может быть атакован. Когда ваше здоровье падает ниже 27, Макс отвлекает врагов в радиусе 20 метров на себя. Давайте лучше вот это используем. Да, интересная штука. Ну что ж, я так понимаю, сейчас все будут против меня? Коллегиями ко мне относятся сейчас с отвращением, мягко говоря. Вот я ее ножом в спину, да и завалил. В принципе. Попробуем план Уэллса. Попробуем план Уэллса. Византия, Византия. А ну-ка, подождите, подождите. Я же могу наверх подняться, нет? Там же была обратная фишка совсем. Так, мне кажется, я неправильно использовал. Так, давайте так. Порвать, ну, вроде бы топовая вещь, нет? Двадцать 39, 31. Ну, 31, ладно. То топовая тема. Не, бежать через весь город туда, это плохая идея. Давайте вот так сделаем. До свидосики, ребятки, там просто целый город захочет меня убить, так что это плохая идея. Да, в этом плане обсидиан, конечно, потрясающий. Я просто взял, ну, есть вероятность, что ее можно было убедить, что план бессмысленный. Ну, так сказать, уже все. Уже поздно пить боржоми, так как уже все, так как говорится. Так, а я... А куда я вообще постоянно езжу куда-то? Ой, блин. Так, ну, надеюсь, сейчас найду то, что я ищу. До свидосики, ребятки, до свидосики. Улетаем нахрен отсюда, улетаем. Все, валим отсюда, валим отсюда.
You killed the adjutant? We are outlaws in the truest sense of the word now. Welcome back, Captain. How can I be...
Ну, понимаешь, у меня тут как бы небольшие проблемы. Я тут натворил таких делов страшных, что аж страшно.
We have arrived at the Hope. I need you to reroute power from our ship to the Hope's auxiliary generator. You'll have to connect me to the Hope's comm system so I can convince her central computer to enable the skip drive. If your calculations are even slightly off, you could crash the entire colony ship into Terra too. Or the sun. Forgetfulness can be an early warning sign of asphyxiation due to loss of pressurization. Are you breathing comfortably, Captain? I need you to reroute power from our ship to the Hope's auxiliary generator. You'll have to connect me to the Hope's comm system so I can...
Ну что, погнали. Интересно, что думают члены экипажа про убийство той тетеньки.
As always, I am at your disposal. Anything you'd like to discuss?
Ничего.
Something you need?
И ничего. Так, подайте питание на скачковый двигатель надежды. Ага, так, я понял. Так, куда мне вообще бежать? Так, ребятки.
What was that? That ought to do her, Captain. What was that? Here they come.
Кто здесь? На, хорошо. Пятьдесят три. 68, 46, 53, поздравляю. Так, давайте без этого и давайте вот без этого тоже.
expected. Searching for item.
Давайте. Черт побери. Да. Ху-ху-ху, как меня просто изнасиловали. Ну уж слишком много там этих чертовых автоматонов и всякой херотни.
What? What was that? I'd better take a look.
Пробежать попробовать? Да можно попробовать, кстати, пробежать. Так, надо сохраниться в первую очередь. Отличненько. Стреляй. Удар молотом. Ну, наконец-то эти ублюдки все сдохли. Ой-ой-ой, да, это точно.
Can you hear me, Captain?
Да.
I have successfully integrated myself into the Hope's comm systems, and am attempting to establish contact with the Hope's more primitive processor now. Would you like me to play a mood-suitable music selection while you travel to the bridge? Oh, sorry. File not found.
Попробуем так подъехать. Давайте, ублюдки, черт бы их побрал, да когда мы уже закончим с этими миссиями. Ох. Ого, как меня прибили. Не, ну нельзя так с ближнебойным убийцей поступать. Нужно чуть-чуть хитрее быть. Наверное, я начну.
the Hope's computer up ahead.
Наконец.
I am curious to wake him. Greetings, Captain. I am speaking to you through the Hope's computer system. It's a rather cramped feeling, but it'll do.
Так, я готов.
Are you sure? That is extremely dangerous. Skipping the Hope will void the warranty on the skip drive. And also potentially kill an entire planet. How is my humor now, Captain? Improved?
Да, вперед.
Jump-starting the skip drive. Destination set to the rings of Terra 2.
Do it.
Well, it's been a good life.
Doing it. I mean, affirmative. Skipping the Hope in 3, 2, 1.
Полетели.
Does your captain seriously intend to do a micro-jump in system with engines that haven't been powered in 70 years on a derelict ship?
That is what my captain intends, yes.
But that is a gross misuse of the skip drive. The Zero Point Drives Corp and I will not be held responsible for any damage incurred during transport, and this will cause extreme damage.
Yes, I am aware of that.
You should not be doing this. The humans will die.
Thank you, Hope. It looks like all systems are go. Captain, I would advise you to hold on to something. Now.
Holy motherfucker. Интересно, что получится из этого всего. Конечно, сама идея вообще странная, типа голод. Как такое вообще может быть? Хотя потом подумаешь, это какие-то планеты, которые не приспособлены к жизни. И реально они не могут воспроизводить нормальные... Да, это плохой план, я знаю. Но он удачный.
Oh, good. We are still alive and have successfully skipped into Terra 2's orbit. I reported as much to Phineas Wells, but he has not responded. Perhaps you should check in on him.
Погнали к Финиас.
I feel like I've been turned inside out. Let's not do that again.
Погнали, погнали, ребят. Так, еще раз сохранимся и погнали дальше. Здравствуйте, здравствуйте, не, спасибо. Не интересует. Если бы у ГГ был перк идиот, если бы он сам запустил надежду, то была бы секретная концовка. Ха-ха-ха. Да, я так и понял. Разбились бы нахрен. Я, кстати, думал об этом, если я сам буду, типа, включать, и у меня там какие-то слабые технические навыки, то, конечно, да, было бы весело. РПГ вовсю.
Captain, I am receiving Captain, I shall now play the transmission I received from Dr. Wells.
Thank the Lord you warned me. I was able to get some defenses up, but they might not be enough. The board has sent some serious firepower to pry me out of here. They're trying to get in here, and I'm not sure I can stop them. If they capture me, if we can't communicate again, there's something very important you need to remember.
Okay.
All the lackeys, they're all a bunch of swine. Do you hear me? They're fucking corporate swine. You fucking pigs! I'll take you all out with me. I'll never...
Ой-ой-ой, все плохо.
The recording captured some rather dire events. I presume you'll want to dock at the orbital lab to check on your associate as soon as possible. How can I be of assistance? Mm-hmm.
Мы отправляемся к Финиусу. Буржуи чертовы!
Radius's orbital lab.
Так, продолжим с той же командой, да?
Captain.
Давайте. Все-таки я сказал, что с этой командой буду проходить, так что давайте. Финиус! Давай. Блин, у них вот это супер какая-то технология вот этой темной материи или что они там делают. О, ебой. Да, ладно, соточки хватит. Ну и можно немного лидерства. Финиш. Какой у тебя пароль, Финиас? Черт тебя побери. Мощь Фина. Интересно. О, теперь у меня темная материя есть. О, матерь честная, как мне теперь открыть это? О! Ввести пароль. Личный файл только для Финиса Уэллс. Первая запись. Спустя 25 лет Надежда все-таки добралась до Алкион. Коллеги не знают, что делать с кораблем, заброшенным колонистами. Но, разумеется, них просто забудут. Корпорация утверждает, что реанимация невозможна. Клеточная регенерация после длительной гибернации – задача из области термодинамики. Уверен, я найду способ реанимировать колонистов Надежды. Нет, честно говоря, не понимаю, зачем вообще просить работодателя разрешения на эксперименты. Разве он ползал на коленях перед своим начальством, чтобы ему разрешили открыть 3 закона движения? Вторая запись. 113 секунд. Новый рекорд. Большинство объектов исследования выдерживает в среднем 93 секунды, прежде чем тотально-клеточное возжигание превращает несколько литров органического супа с температурой. Это же 26-я смерть за мою практику. Не знаю, сколько еще я смогу продолжить с материальной точки зрения. Блин. Всегда знал, что этим кончится. Коллеги узнал о том, что я сделал, отправил за мной головорезов. Меня называют убийцей, это чистая правда, я убийца. Я жалею о содеянном, но я не намерен отдаваться на милость коллеги. Я не стану вымаливать их прощения, только колонисты Надежды смогут простить меня за эти действия. Интересно. Открыть тайник. Нави-ключ Тартара. Да, оказывается, Феникс экспериментировал с людьми, и я был просто его удачный эксперимент. Остальные 35 человек погибли. Да, не верь чертовым корпоратам, они сволочь.
Captain, as it appears we may soon be embarking for a maximum security prison planet, I believe the crew would like to speak with you to, as you humans put it, air some concerns.
Эва как?
Phineas, locked up in Tartarus? We cannot let this stand. That place terrifies even the most hardened criminal.
To extract the scientist, you will need to infiltrate the labyrinth. But that course of action is likely to be quite dangerous, Captain.
Да, надо его освободить.
Programmed to warn you whenever you exhibit inclinations toward risky behavior. Breaking into Tartarus will not...
А где этот Рик?
Getting in is the simple part.
Я не знаю, кто такой Рик.
That's the trouble. Trust me, I know.
Let's just do it. Kick down some doors, grab Doc Wells, and cut a path out. We don't need a plan. We got guns.
If you really mean to do this, you should see to your final affairs and close out any unfinished business. Once you sneak into Tartarus, you may be there a while. Or permanently.
Да, вперед!
If we don't make it, at least it'll be a great story.
Да!
Got my trusty tossball stick, got my ass-kicking boots. I'm ready, boss.
Outstanding. You can count on us, Captain. We're crew. For real crew. That means we got each other's backs. Right?
Never thought I'd volunteer to break into a prison. Seems like your tendency towards risky behavior is rubbing off on me, Captain.
Command not recognized.
Waiting on your command, Captain.
Да погнали, чего вы ждете? Вперед! Тартар. Сохранение, сделанное после этого, позволит лишь завершить основной сюжет на Тартаре. Доступно к побочным заданиям дополнение загруженным контентом, такие как Перри, Лонгорка, Мертвый будет закрыть. Если у вас старые какие-нибудь дела, займите для выхода в тюрьме. После этого будет невозможно. Да, к этому я, в принципе, иду. Так, ну ладно, сейчас 2 минуты и продолжим. Ну что, отправляемся в Тартар? В Тартар.
I am pleased to inform you that we have arrived at the labyrinth. Please be advised that the punishment for trespassing is execution. Please be advised that electrical storms on the surface of Tartarus make departure impossible at this time. Resident count is as follows: 3,071. Resident deaths, including but not limited to executions, are as follows: 1,684. Resident escapes are as follows: 0. The interior can be chilly. Take a scarf with you, Captain. I would also ask that you leave your captain's ID with me, in the event that you do not return. I can make the assurance that I will not leave with another captain unless you do not return within 876,541,652 hours. Oh, speak of the devil. Captain, I am receiving a transmission from the prison's docking authority now.
Attention, unauthorized spacecraft. This is a maximum security installation. Your presence here is an explicit violation of UDL corporate policy. You are hereby confined to your docking platform until a ticket detailing your crimes has been filed and notarized, at which point your vessel will be seized and you will be executed. I wager it'll take a bit longer than it takes you to lose your patience and storm out of your ship looking to get shot. To be honest, that'd make my job a lot easier. You come out, we shoot you full of holes, and then everyone goes about their day worry-free. Except you. You'll be dead. All right. I'm feeling generous. I'm transmitting the idea of a productive, law-abiding employee so you can see what one looks like before you die. Tartarus Docking Authority, signing off.
Transmission terminated. Biometric ID received. Transferring data to external cartridge. How can I be of assistance? I'll be here.
Вперед в Тартар.
Keep your eyes out for dissidents.
Есть контакт.
Perhaps we should all meditate on that as we make our descent.
This might be the loneliest place in the whole system.
I suppose it would be too late to back out now, huh? Fear not, Captain. I'll watch your back.
Так.
Error. Error. Transfer request.
А, кого использовать? Просто космос, тетя Клео, Рица, Вок.
Registered. A fine of 10,000 bits will be assessed in your corporation's ledger for...
Ух, повезло.
Hold it. No, I meant your uniform. There's something about it. Yeah, I guess you're right.
О, как же я держусь пока. Перемещаемся в яму. И едем за Риком, или за Уэлсом, или как его лучше назвать, ну, это кому как больше нравится. Очень серьезно. Подождите. А ну-ка, нет, ну вы подождите так. Я ж в теории могу сделать вот такой ход, правильно?
Your uniform has been rated 82% clean.
Так.
Let's go, troops. Stellar base counting on us.
Are you new here? I didn't think we were hiring more staff.
Мне наняли испытать ваш порядок обеспечения безопасности. Поздравляю, вы прошли проверку. То что это был тайный пост?
Oh, no. Don't tell anyone, please. Thank you. Bring it down!
А что происходит вообще? Фу. Кто-то пытается сбежать, типа, в момент того, как я тут пробираюсь. Ты открыл некоторые клетки с заключенными. Вева как.
Fugitive's a fugitive. Let it go.
The chairman himself is here. We have something out.
Are you new here? Whoa, nothing. I was just asking. Okay, all right.
О, все. Поговорили, все хорошо. И поехали отсюда. Едем отсюда нахрен. Капец, я просто на чистом убеждении, запугивании, лжи сейчас держусь. Капец. Я вообще не думал, что так можно.
All the work you've destroyed, all the money you've cost me. Your misguided crusade has doomed Halcyon.
Я веду борьбу с коррупцией. Одного идиота уберешь, потом другого, а там и получше станет. Кота обрекла. Мы с Финес спасаем колонию.
That crackpot's plan is ludicrous. We have steps, action items, budgets, and reports. All he's got is a guilty conscience and lofty dreams. In any other circumstance, I'd admire your boldness. In this one, however, I have only 2 words for you. Fuck off. How dare you? Even thinking about killing the chairman of the Halcyon board is a felony. Thankfully, you're in a prison already. Find the nearest cell and wait until I'm done here. Then I'll drag you to the...
А ну-ка, секундочку. Да, ни у кого нет отличного плана, что ты сказал.
Is that what you think you're doing? This path of wanton societal disruption? You call that being a savior? I call it sabotage. You know what saboteurs get, Captain? Summary executions. In the next room is the finest automechanical purveyor of death ever made. Try not to scratch the paint with your skull. It was fucking expensive. Absolutely not. Akande was always the sociable one, not me. Need I repeat the magic 2 words?
Ладно, скоро буду.
Here's a little trick I learned in prison.
Еще раз немножко. Так себе был план.
Here they come!
I'll take your confession now.
Как жестко-то, ой-ой-ой. Вообще дико жестко. Так, вроде пока по плану идет все. Ага, только искал по плану, и тут он ворвался как ненормальный. Напарникам вроде можно сейчас уровень повысить. Не, нельзя. К сожалению, нет. Капец, он меня достал. Да, черт бы тебя побрал бы. Да черт тебя побери. Ого, он пробил. Да, ура! Наконец-то! Жесткая какая-то битва была, вообще дикая, просто дикая. Надеюсь, это уже конец, блин. Погнали, я уже устал от этого дерьма. Спасибо. Неплохо меня так ранили, я так понимаю. О, Финни, здорово. Ух!
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You lunatic. You broke into the board's own fortress and killed the chairman just to rescue one doddering old man? You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough. I know, my friend, I know. And now it's finally over. The board's finished. It's only a matter of time before the entire system slips from their grasp. You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated.
Так, супер, я только что хотел пивка и праздновать победу. Прекращай демотивировать, Финни, сейчас совсем не подходящий момент. Мне совершенно не нравится, куда ты клонишь.
Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
Earth is only an idea to us. But that idea is the bedrock the colony is built upon. If people were to find out it's gone dark, the shock could be too much to bear.
I don't want to imagine what'll happen. We'll just keep this between us for now.
You mean we're all alone out here? Really alone?
I'm afraid so, Miss Holcomb. Halcyon is the only home we have left. Returning to Earth is no longer an option. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own.
Так, ну погнали, не будем терять времени.
Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing.
You've succeeded where anyone else would have failed, including me. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds, and then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us?
Да, конечно.
When I revived you, I thought you were going to help me save this colony. I was wrong. I had our roles reversed, you see. You're the one who's going to save us all. I'm just the one who set you on your path. You're the best thing to ever happen to Halcyon. If you want to take it upon yourself to lead this colony, you have my support. We're not a colony any longer, are we? Our last connection to Earth has been severed, and so we have been set free. Our future is uncertain, and no one knows what tomorrow holds. Exciting, isn't it?
И что теперь?
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Between MSI's worker-centric policies and the iconoclast's manpower, Sanjar and Zora were able to rally many of the Terra 2 townships to their cause. MSI's workforce swelled, and the iconoclasts enjoyed a significant surge in their ranks. The board was too distracted by infighting and internal politics to stop MSI from becoming a powerful corporation and a refuge for townships that might have fallen through the cracks. Sublight Salvage adapted to the changes in Halcyon, shifting their business model to suit the times. Their claims of legitimacy were scrutinized, but ultimately unquestioned. Lilia Hagen would continue to protect her family as ruthlessly as ever. The collapse of Edgewater left its workers bereft of any purpose in life. Most of them made their way to Adelaide McDevitt's camp, hoping to ingratiate themselves into her favor. Adelaide accepted only a few to her community. The rest were turned away and likely died of starvation. Nevertheless, Adelaide's camp grew into a well-established town. Adelaide McDevitt refused to cooperate with the ongoing effort to save Halcyon from collapse. A sympathetic deserter stole a copy of her research and delivered it to the Hope's scientists. It is unclear how useful Adelaide's research was. An optimistic estimate suggests her work may have bought Halcyon another few years of survival. Adelaide would never know. She died that winter.
Странная история с ним.
Fought to protect the Groundbreakers' independence. While the board's influence faded, mechanical difficulties forced her to rely on parts that only corporations could provide. The cost was high, and time would tell if Junlei could balance the work with her aspirations for a better future. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs.
Oh my god.
It was a dark time in Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people. Sometimes. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She hired a small crew and flew supply missions to communities on the fringe. Some of them were even legal. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so long to create. He knew there were many in the colony who carried burdens much worse than the ones he had struggled with, and he devoted himself to easing their suffering wherever he could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless. Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace. Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker, and Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed. The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name. And in no time, she was a fixture in the Groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, a mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide, or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories, could find her camping on the trail, or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past, and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony. In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope. Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists were successfully revived. Halcyon saw a period of rapid technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation. Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope about the future. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? Long after Wells passed away, you carried on his work with more energy, determination, and brilliance than he could ever muster. The years that followed were hard, but Halcyon survived by the efforts of the Hope's most promising colonists, the greatest of which was you. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
Ну вот и все. Ну, как-то очень позитивно получилось. Я бы сказал, все герои как-то, ну, получили, что хотели. Даже вот Феликса. Получается, все его квесты не завершил. И, получается, он не пошел в революцию. Но корпорация и так проиграла без него. Так что зачем что-то еще было, да, делать? А что, это не пропустить никак? Эх! Ага. Ну что ж, а какой вывод хочется сделать в этой игре? Конечно же, вывод о том, что это некая насмешка над различными фишками корпораций, насмешками различных людей, которые хотят сделать что-то лучше, а на самом деле они хотят сами получить власть. И вот это все, да, отсылки к Fallout, что, возможно, это как раз в Fallout случилась ядерная война, и эти игры типа связаны. Да, давай расскажи про секретную концовку. И, конечно же, самое важное. Ты можешь делать все, что угодно. Всех убивать, либо помогать, делать квест одним способом, другим способом и так далее. Но это реально потрясающе. То есть приблизительно игра проходит за 20 с лишним часов, короче. Но это я сейчас очень много достаточно побочных заданий сделал. В ней, если перк идет, то можно полететь на солнце. Ну я так и понял, честно говоря, вот в этом плане. Да, и вот этот супер-мега выбор возможности человека делать то, что он хочет. Но с этими и возможностями он и как бы живет. То есть то, что он сделал, у него есть последствия. Подобная фишка была в Dishonored, но там все было достаточно вот целенаправленно. Ты, короче, если убиваешь много людей, то мир начинает загрязняться. Если ты там убил каких-то противников, либо не убил их, то есть же он сильнее загрязняется. И все, как бы просто загрязнение, не загрязнение. Похожая фишка была в третьем Mass Effect, типа, ну там, конечно же, тоже было очень много выборов, да, но все равно концовка приходила как к одному общему знаменателю. И ну там как бы все цельно хотя бы, оно все объединяло, здесь, конечно, четкого объединения нету, и оно здесь, в принципе, и не нужно. Outer Worlds такой, какой он есть. И он прекрасен. Это одна из лучших игр, которые я играл за последнее время. Но, конечно же, я не могу ее назвать самой лучшей. Это не Red Dead Redemption 2. Это не Sekiro Shadow Die Twice, при всем уважении к этой игре. Это одна из тех очень крутых RPG-шек. Но все же, конечно же, есть куда расти. Но Obsidian — это просто великая студия, которая сейчас живет и создает прекрасные игры. И в Deus Ex тоже были 3 кнопки в конце. Кстати, вот концовка в Deus Ex первом и концовка в Mass Effect третьем очень похожи. Вот прям практически одно и то же. Вот там тоже такая же фишка. И да, вот в этом Outer Worlds. Спасибо, Дюдя, что был со мной практически на всех стримах. Мне было очень приятно. Прям мотивация была с тобой обсудить, с тобой поиграть. В ближайшее время, наверное, у меня будут дела, не знаю. У меня тут хрен его знает, что я вообще с жизнью буду со своей делать. Прекрасный, интересный вывод всего этого, да? И, конечно же, посмотрим потом, как оно что будет. И потом уже, может быть, что-нибудь постримлю, как с компьютером, с квартирой и где я вообще буду. Тогда уже, если что, буду на связи. С вами был Speedful. Have a nice day, nice life, goodbye. Счастливо и пока-пока. Пусть интересный выбор и приключения будут всегда с вами.